Happy Friday and welcome to Union Insider presented by Independence Blue Cross. I'm your host, Sage Hurley. Here's what we have coming up for you over the next half hour. MLS journalist Favian Renkel will join me to discuss the state of the team following a tough start to the league campaign. Plus, we'll attempt to melt the brain freeze left by the snowstorm with a little fun in the sun, mic'd up style. And later, Sebastien joins me on set to discuss the lessons learned from match day 1 and preview Sunday's home opener / grudge match against New York City FC. But first, a reminder that you can watch all of the team's matches this season on Apple TV. No more paywall. All you need is an active Apple TV subscription and you won't miss a minute of any league match. However, if you were out at the grocery store on Saturday night buying bread and milk ahead of the blizzard, here's a look back at how the season opener against DC United unfolded.
DC United under coach Rene Weiler took over midway through last season, couldn't really engineer a turnaround, has had a whole offseason to rebuild and figure out the best way to deploy this new group of players. 10 players in, 11 out. As for Philadelphia, making wholesale changes despite the fact that they won the Supporter Shield and got to the conference semifinals. Still, the hope is that the system will win out for Bradley Carnell, and this team is reloaded and ready to go, especially after a victory in midweek. Standing there from Jean Peglo. Pirani playing in behind. Here's Kurokawa who's in. Kurokawa, Baribo! And he was offside. Kaisuke Kurokawa started his run a bit too early. Pirani getting involved. Neither team really with much interested in possession flow. They go quickly, as they do there to Damiani. Alado well found. Iloski taking time, judging the bounce, and goes for goal. Always going high and wide of target. Sean Johnson fairly comfortable in knowing that wasn't going to end up in the back of his net. Iloski from that left side, whipping in at pace, and Bartlett thumping away, had the measure of it, but Harriel getting across to keep it in play. Vasilev will deliver. Easy work here for Hopkins, and does well to control. Stinging forward into Pirani, who's bothered there by Sundstrom, but off goes Peglo. He's got options running with him. Peglo for Ty Baribo. Here's Baribo! Welcome to DC United, Ty Baribo! And he does it against his former team. 19 goals last year for the Union. He's got his first for DC United in the opening 23 minutes of the season. 1-0 to DC. Bartlett.
That's the right idea. You just see Martinez, since he's come in, just drifting out to this left-hand side, trying to open up the pathway for Alado. Just misplaced pass from Macania.
Referee Guido Gonzalez Jr. is going to give a yellow card here. Actually, a straight red card has been shown to Ezekiel Alado. What happened? Vasilev trying to help it on Anello. Caught it sweetly, but right at Sean Johnson.
This is a player that Bradley Carnell is very high on. Anello finds himself in a good little position. Why not take his first time, adjust his body to be able to open up, and then get off on take it on the half volley.
Here there, Bradley Carnell telling Owutu Macania, get in the box, play the role of center forward.
Yeah, just get everybody into the box of the Philadelphia Union. DC United happy just to put a little bit of pressure on the ball, but mostly just keep players back behind, make it predictable for themselves.
Bedoya goes for the header and for the second ball. Falling towards Anello, got a touch right in front of Sean Johnson. It wasn't clean enough, but that was dangerous for DC.
Bedoya, just the presence of mind just to play it across, wins the initial challenge, gets there to the second ball, and then you get numbers. No one's actually tight enough.
Goalkeeper, initial check. Kevin Sullivan whipping in at pace to that back post, and did take a glancing header on its way through. And there goes the full-time whistle. And DC United knocked off last year's Supporter Shield winners on the opening day.
So the boys in blue will be looking to turn the page and focus on Sunday's home opener. And we're going to do the same here on Union Insider. To help us do that, we're welcomed by our next guest. You've read his work for the Athletic and Leagues Cup. MLS journalist Favian Renkel joins us to talk a little bit more on where the Union go from here and how the conference is shaking out. Favian, thanks for joining us.
No, thank you guys so much to have me on, and it's a true honor to be here talking to all the Duke fans out there, so I appreciate it.
First up, we've got a rematch of last season's conference semifinal with New York City FC returning to the scene of the crime at Subaru Park, where they ended the Union's 2025 Cup campaign, courtesy of a Maxi Morales goal. Fabian, how pumped are you for this matchup?
Yeah, look, this is a big one. I'm excited to kind of first off see how the Philadelphia team plays behind their home fans, right? A tough loss last week versus DC United and a goal by a familiar face, but you know, that's the bottom, I think, for this team. I think now being at home in front of your home fans, you had a couple of bright spots on this team last week. They should get into the groove of things and hopefully, kind of be a top defense again behind Kanya and Sari Larson, and of course Andre Blake still in goal. So definitely, a lot of losses in this team, but at the same time, there might be some guys who they can kind of lean on a bit in this match with the crowd, and I think this is going to be a great showing for Philadelphia. Bounce back.
NYCFC started their season with a 1-1 draw at LA Galaxy, but let's talk about the Eastern Conference as a whole. MLS is back weekend was a competitive one. Are there any results, teams, or even players in particular that stood out to you?
Yeah, look, I think everybody in MLS is really talking about Nashville SC. Nashville is a team who already had two superstar MVP caliber type players, and now they added a third one with Christian Espinoza. I think in MLS, they are easily the best trident. It's a team that every single Eastern Conference team should be watching out for. And truly, I think this team has Supporter Shield contender in their arsenal. So I truly think that this is a team that is going to surprise everybody in the Eastern Conference and possibly surprise everybody in MLS.
Do you think that's a match Philly needs to circle on their schedule?
Is one of them. I think Nashville is going to be a great test for Philly, but I also think that there's a game that a lot of Duke fans maybe didn't kind of realize was coming up, but it's versus the San Jose Earthquakes, and Timo Werner actually just landed in San Jose. So he's going to be fit and ready to play once they travel over to Philadelphia. So if you're a Philadelphia Union fan and basically you want to see Timo Werner, a guy who's won a Champions League, you got to circle that match versus the San Jose Earthquakes. And hey, maybe you're ahead of the curve and you grab some good price tickets.
You're right, that's a big one. Now let's talk about last weekend. While the Union left DC empty-handed, Milan Iloski was a bright spot for the Union. He's been playing at a very high level for a good long while now. Fabian, where does he sit for you amongst the league's top offensive talents?
Yeah, look, Iloski has proven already that he's been able to score at two different teams, which is something that's very valuable within MLS. If you are a goal scorer throughout the league, honestly, that is so invaluable to a team. So I truly think Iloski is a talent that is in MLS, that is in the upper echelon of strikers. Look at a guy around the league. Maybe he's in the same category as guys like Sturridge, as Peter Musa. Again, this is a high-quality striker, and in Philadelphia, someone's going to have to step up to kind of take over the absences of the transfers that went out. Iloski is that guy, and there's a reason why they let Baribo go, right? There's a reason why they, Bradley Carnell and the Philadelphia Union front office believed that they could let him go, right? Iloski's here. He's the talented player. He's the guy that everybody in San Diego hates to see play for a different team, but he's the guy that I think could take this Philadelphia Union team into a lot of goals in this season.
Now let's switch gears a little bit to close this conversation. In addition to your reporting work, you've also played a really big part in the launch of Kickbase, Major League Soccer's newly announced official home for fantasy soccer. How important is a platform like this in expanding the league's audience and fan engagement, especially in a year like the one we have ahead?
Yeah, look, I've always been a huge fan of fantasy football, and I feel like fantasy MLS is something that can easily propel this league into the mainstream and into your workplaces. I'm a big fan of Smack Talk, and I think fantasy is a great driver when it comes to bringing people together and having better connections with your friends and sharing a moment with them watching the game and also looking at your fantasy team. But what's really cool about Kickbase is that it's 100 actions and they happen live during the match. So if you see Iloski, have a great pass or a big chance, that gets right updated into your app and the points go up instantly. And you get to send that screenshot to your friend and talk a little smack. So I'm super excited to kind of be on this team with Kickbase USA, especially being the new home of MLS Fantasy. There's so much potential with fantasy, and in this year, any potential is great potential because we know those fans are going to come in after the World Cup. So again, this is just another vehicle to help grow soccer in the States, and I couldn't be more grateful to be on the team to help.
Favian, thanks so much for joining us. Let's do it again soon.
No, definitely. Thank you so much for having me on. And I really appreciate it. To all the Duke fans out there, make sure you go to that home game.
Coming up on the other side, we'll head down to preseason for the latest edition of Mic'd Up. But before we break, here's this week's trivia question presented by United Concordia. How many soccer-specific stadiums does New York City FC currently have? The answer is later in our show. Union Insider is coming right back. As the Delaware Valley tries to shake off the cold and look ahead to spring, we here at Union Insider are doing our part to help you warm up. While the team was working through the off-season rust in the Spanish sun, our cameras and mics were rolling to give you an all-access pass. Here's what that looked like and sounded like.
Turn! Oh my gosh, I got you. Last second I switched it. Y'all see me make a ollie? Did you get that? It's always fun when you make a legend,
Yeah, look. It's got this number 10 on. A little extra aura added to him, huh?
It's tiring. Oh. Waking up! Holy cow! Waking up! He goes waking up. No! Yomi! Oh. Choo-choo! 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 Give me something. Come on. Run me through one. Coach me like I'm Dre. Go, give me one. Okay. All right, give me one more. No, I wasn't ready. Dude, that's a good finish, though. What do you shake? Every now and then you gotta just tip your cap, no? Know when to hold them. Know when to fold them.
You know what they call me now? They call me Air Mac.
Air Mac?
Yeah, you know why?
Didn't come out
Because I fly. Look at this. On your left, Jeff, left. Well done. Well done. That was good. Yes. Pause. Over. Well done, boys.
Well done, bro.
Well done, Nima. Yeah, well done, boys.
Text him. Call him Santi, bro. Let's go.
Who's your captain?
I am.
Harriel?
I am.
5-4 Bedoya.
I give my opinion.
Yeah.
Vamos! I got you. You see? Don't run. I run. Okay? Don't run. I run! Don't run! I'm telling you! Hey, what is this? I'm so happy now. I play with the mind. I play with the mind. Claro que sí.
Still to come on Union Insider, presented by Independence Blue Cross, Sebastien makes his season debut to discuss how the boys in blue can right the ship on Sunday afternoon. Stay close, we're coming right back. Back with this week's Union Update presented by Torque. Union kick off their 2026 theme night schedule with this weekend's home opener. Fans attending Sunday's match will receive a commemorative shield celebrating last season's Supporter Shield winning campaign. Also on tap this season, my personal favorite on the list, Star Wars Night on May 2nd. We also have Doopmas in July, that's a new one. And Kick Childhood Cancer, also known as KCC, always comes in September, just to name a few. Back here on set where I'm joined by Union legend, current Academy coach, radio broadcaster, and an all-around good guy, Sebastien. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Sage. Very happy to be back.
Let's get right into it. We showed the highlights of the DC game earlier. Looking back on that game now with a few days to get clarity, what do you think are the lessons that Bradley Carnell is looking to impart on his team this week?
I mean, we all know, this game was, of course, a disappointing result for the team. But I think for me, start with the back line. We know that we are missing, lots of key players from last season. Just talk about Glesnes, and Kai Weiner, who are not here anymore, who are a big part of the team, and how the defensive, shape of the team really built the great result last season. We were missing Frankie Westfield as well due to injuries, so we have to shuffle a little bit the back line. I don't think yet, all the new players are really fit into the rhythm into this league and knowing exactly how, Bradley Carnell and his staff wants to play, with a high press sometime and sometime dropping. DC United, credit to them, give some difficulty as well with their game plan to have the Union try to get the ball more in the first half, where we were not really good on the ball, kind of losing a little bit too much, and being too predictable to find our midfielder. But I felt like in the second half we were a little bit better. The energy was there. We make some change, defensively, and at the end, even when we got a red card with Alado, the team was still better at 10 against the DC, who were just going in transition. We could have maybe steal a point. Unfortunately, we didn't. But I like how we finished the game more physically as well. I think the team was much better than DC United. So can we, learn from this first game to now going into a team of New York City FC who, let's say, offer a different type of look as a team. We all know how good they are, and they, took us out of the playoff last season. So it'd be a good revenge for them to get the first home game against New York City FC and hopefully get the first win of the season.
Now, I mentioned Milan Iloski earlier in the show when I was speaking with Favian, but another player that really stood out offensively is Augustine Anello. He had a couple of chances in his second half cameo. Do you like his profile of player in Bradley Carnell's system?
Yeah, I think he's a player that can probably take a one-on-one, defender. It's kind of like this type of aspect he has more than other players, in a team. He's good shooting, but like you saw, he didn't play a lot just because physically he's not ready, yet 100%. So hopefully we can see him more and more coming into the team and helping, scoring the goal for the Union.
On to Sunday's matchup against NYC FC. It's time for Keys to the Game presented by Subaru. Seba, you know the drill. First thing, we're talking transition.
Yeah, transition. I think for me, the Union could they, go quick in transition when they win the ball, especially at home, with the atmosphere, putting pressure, high up the field into New York City FC, who is going to maybe try to play. Can we win the ball quickly, maybe in one or two passes, be in front of the goal of Matt Freeze and score some goals? It will be the first thing, I think, for me, in the way I think they will attack the game. And then when we saw the game against DC United, we didn't play too much pass, in the space, for a runner, and it was not many runs as well for the forward. So can we use more, the speed of our forward or our 10s to go behind the defense of New York City FC, who by time, will maybe drop, but by time, play a little bit higher line. So we need to find a good way to find those balls behind the defense, but at the same time, when it's stretched, find our number 10 in the pocket.
And your other key to a Union win?
The Union win was, like I said, transition from the back line. As soon as we win the ball, can we go quickly from the press to score the goal?
One more hydration break to sneak in. When we return, Seba will put on his coaching hat and give us the lowdown on a new role. Union Insider, presented by Independence Blue Cross, returns after this. We're back with the answer to this week's trivia question presented by United Concordia. Earlier in the show, we asked you, how many soccer-specific stadiums does New York City FC currently have? The answer, none. It has none. Time for this week's final whistle discussion presented by Allstate. Seba back with me here on set. And for those who don't know, Seba has taken a role with the Academy to help train young forwards and strikers. So Seba, if you would, for the audience, can you describe what you're like as a coach?
Yeah, I mean, as a coach, I'm not sure you have to ask the people I'm coaching, but no, it's a great learning process for me. It has been now since last October. I just step into this position to be more IDP coach, so individual coaching for little groups from the academy, from the U14 to U18, and hopefully I can be involved a bit more as well with the Union 2 and the first team with the season now starting. But no, I really enjoy it. It's just great for me to be involved with the club I love and try to help and mentor the young player to be the next generation to help this club being great. But no, it's been a great learning experience for me. I try to get better every day, but yeah, I try to pass along all my knowledge and all the stuff I learned during my career to help them hopefully make it to the pro for this team.
Well, congratulations on the new role. Is there anything these players have taught you so far?
Yes, it's the way you talk, to a teenager compared to a pro. It's very, good for me to understand the way I need to talk, and it's very different. So it's, a great learning experience, and I'm learning still every day.
That'll do it for this edition of Union Insider. MLS returns to Subaru Park this Sunday, Union and NYCFC at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, only on Apple TV. For Favian Renkel, Seba, and our entire crew, thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next week.